Wrestling fans, guys, forget about the intro. Forget about everything that I usually say at the beginning. We got too much to cover tonight. I'm not getting into the beginning. You all know what to do about subscribing and hitting the bell and leaving a like and sharing it and leaving a comment down below. You all know what to do. And it's all much appreciated. I'm not getting into it. But WWE, first off, tried tonight. They did. I'm not going to come on here and say that they didn't. But WWE tonight, if you are not Ronda Rousey or Roman Reigns, then you really don't mean anything. You really don't. Now, yes, they had tag team matches. They had different other things for the other women and men on the roster, but they were meaningless matches. They were just meaningless segments outside of The Undertaker coming back. So, yeah. And once again, by the way, The Undertaker, part-timers that are practically retired are having the best segments on Monday Night Raw. Mick Foley did, Triple H has, The Undertaker has in the past, and The Undertaker continued to do it once again tonight. Shawn Michaels did. What's that speak for the main roster today? But as much as WWE tried to put on a good show, they failed tonight. I mean, they really did. Where was Roman Reigns during Seth's match? Where was Dean Ambrose during Seth Rollins' match? Where was Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose during, or where was Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns during Dean Ambrose's match? This is the Shield, right? They're protecting their brothers, right? Nah. You tell me, WWE, how much sense this makes, or how much this makes Roman Reigns just look weak. Okay? It literally, tonight, showed that all Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins is a shield for Roman Reigns. Complete proof tonight in the main event. Because he was the only one that needed help, needed protection in the matches. That's the way WWE wrote it. And you know how much of a weak link, pathetic that makes him look? Awful. And we're supposed to genuinely get invested in our Universal Champion. You're making it a very hard time for us to, okay? Jeez. Without Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, he would be getting boos galore without them. Absolutely awful. Now, as far as the rest of the show, because quite frankly, no one really cared or thought that Baron Corbin was any type of threat to the big dog. No one thought that. And if anybody did, I don't know what in the world you've been watching for the past 4 years since Baron Corbin came up to the main roster. And Roman Reigns have gotten his big mega push. Baron Corbin is not a threat. That was one of the most laughable, ridiculous things I have ever heard in my life. Speaking of which, this is laughable, okay? And I thought I would like Renee Young on the commentary team, but, she has went from being likable to just downright cringeworthy because Roman Reigns looks in excellent, awesome, tremendous shape. Oh my, 100%. Coming out for the main event against Baron Corbin, when last night he got F5 to oblivion by Brock Lesnar and hit with a broken table by Brock Lesnar. Are you kidding me? You sound more corporate than Jonathan Coachman did. You made her. I'm not even getting started on how Renee Young sounded tonight. But anyway, what else happened on this show? Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre victorious. No question he's going to have a big singles push in the future once this threesome of Ziggler, Strowman, and McIntyre break up. And Drew McIntyre finally stops playing the role of Big Daddy Cool Diesel of Dolph Ziggler. Because that's kind of what they're doing right now with those two. But Drew McIntyre, without a doubt, will have a big singles push in the future. And quite frankly, that's why he picked up the victory over Dean Ambrose. Unlike what happened with Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins. This contest, about as well as we could expect. They didn't want to outshine the main event. The main event was, I can't believe I'm saying this, better quality than the Intercontinental Championship match. But I can tell you a big part of that reason, if we were sitting in the arena, probably wouldn't be saying that. Big part of the match was cut off because of commercial breaks. Big part of the match wasn't cut off because of commercial breaks during the main event. So WWE kind of manipulating that, making sure that the Roman Empire was on top. But what do we know, wrestling fans? We're just podcasters that come on here and talk about wrestling. We don't know jack, right? The Undertaker returned. And he sent a message to Triple H. Talked about how he has been taking souls and digging holes for 28 years now. And at Saudi Arabia, he's going to have his brother of destruction, Kane, in his corner. And Shawn Michaels is going to be in Triple H's corner. And he needs Triple H to take off his suit, get back away from the desk, things of that nature, so he can finally bury him 6 feet under, just like he did the first time that he faced him, and have him rest in peace. The same gist that he always says during his promos, but still, the way The Undertaker carried himself, the way he cut his promo, it outshined everything that everybody did on the main roster that is a full-time main roster superstar, bar none tonight. And that's sad, but that's just me. You all let me know what you're thinking in comments below about that. Ronda Rousey now wants to be like all the other champions in the WWE, have an open challenge. Well, Ronda Rousey, I was waiting. Instead, we saw more of this super showdown between the Riot Squad and Ronda Rousey and the Bellas 6-woman tag team match build. Now, the only thing I'm going to say is about everything that we saw tonight, have you noticed that WWE is building to 3 major shows right now as we speak? 3 shows. We just came off Hell in a Cell, and now they're building the Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. They're building to the Australian Super Show, and they're building to Evolution. And they'll have the Survivor Series in November to build to, which is in the same month as Crown Jewel. This is ridiculous. Take a break. Slow down. And they're building to all that on Monday Night Raw. Outside of Survivor Series right now. So, a lot of stuff to take in. And it's pretty sad that to one segment, and this is getting off to Ronda Rousey, because she is a full-time competitor now. She's on the show every week. Now, I admit she's still green, but if you're going to have her do open challenges, then stop with all this mess with the Bellas and the Riot Squad. We understand that you're building towards it, but you could have an open challenge and build towards the Super Show as well. And we already know where it's coming. It's going to Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey at Evolution. No doubt about that. But ridiculous. Chad Gable versus Victor of the Ascension. I'm not mentioning it. I'm not talking about it. This is garbage. This is trash. Chad Gable victorious. There you go. Bayley versus Dana Brooke. Okay. Another 2 superstars on the female division that they treat like garbage. And I hate saying that. I really do. But they treat them like absolute crap. Now, some of you might get intrigued by how they've been booking Bayley and Sasha being baby faces and this tag team. I'm not that big of a fan of it. I wish we would have seen the rivalry develop and groom and grow. But Dana Brooke off by herself now, so we'll have to see how that works. AOP squash match. Okay. Elias versus Bobby Lashley ends in controversy, ends with Kevin Owens causing a disturbance in the matchup. This is all building towards the Super Show because John Cena is going to be in that matchup in the tag team. So, as we know, Lashley and John Cena versus Elias and Kevin Owens. That's all this is building to. Nothing too exciting or exhilarating or nothing to jump out of our seats out of. But Elias needs to get put in something more important. That's just me. Mickie James and Alicia Fox versus Ember Moon and the Unstoppable Force, Nia Jax. Well, if she's unstoppable, I'm still waiting to find out why and how she is unstoppable. Because I don't see how she is. She's smiling. She has a big smile on her face. I'm not impressed. Okay, WWE. Treat her like a monster if you want me to believe that she is an unstoppable force. And that's all I'm saying about that. Because it's like, whatever. So, we had a nice little segment at the beginning with Reigns, Strowman, Heyman, and Corbin. Corbin putting himself in championship matchup. Strowman saying everything that was stupid that was going on in the WWE right now. And Paul Heyman coming out and bragging on everything that's going on from last night and saying that he gets his rematch. Brock Lesnar gets his rematch on November 2nd at Saudi Arabia. So, we saw all that, plus everything else I mentioned tonight. It was a okay show, but WWE failed because of how they ended the night. If you wouldn't have ended the night that way, you have had a better grade. You have had a better review on this channel for Monday Night Raw. And I'm sure a lot of people out there will be saying the exact same thing. See you tomorrow for SmackDown Live review. Go over and watch my review of Hell in a Cell. It will be at the end of this podcast, so tune in for that. Hit the subscribe button, the big, huge Webby button at the end of this video as well. Much appreciated. And until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.